Welcome back. In this video we are going to load the profile data of the user. So here we want to display the data, and yeah, let's just go ahead and build that. So in order to do that, in the my profile activity I will need to call a function which is our Firestore function. So I'm just going to do it right here. Firestore class dot sign in user and pass in this activity. So at this point I think passing in the activity, my profile activity, is not going to work, right? So it doesn't understand what's going on. But I'm also not very happy with the name of this function anymore. So if we look at the function in our Firestore class, sign in user, okay, I called it, or I wrote it correctly, but the thing is, we are not really signing in the user anymore when we update the navigation user details. So how I want to rename this function is I'm gonna rename it to load user data. So load user data. I think this is going to be more descriptive because it's really just loading user data. In one case it's signing in the user and logging in the user, then in the other one it's updating the navigation user details, and in the third one, which we add now, is our my profile activity. So in that case what it should do is it should call a function from the profile activity and give it the user data, right? So let's go ahead and create a new function here. I'm going to create a new function called set user data in UI, and I need a user here, and then I can go ahead and display the image first of all. So here I'm using the models user, by the way. So we are going to use the same function that we used before. We're going to use this glide function. Now this time with the profile activity, we load the user image, we crop it, then alternatively we use the IC user placeholder. And where do we want to use it? Well, in our IV user image. Now to make sure that this is the correct one, let's go to our profile XML file, this one, and see if we actually called the image IV user image, just to be sure. So it's at the very top, I think, inside of the card view. So circle image view, it's this one, IV user image, inside of our activity my profile, right? So that's the one that I want to assign here this image to. Okay, so this is just one step, and of course we also want to get the name of the user, or set the name of the user with the text of user.name, then the email, set text with user.email, and then if there is a user mobile number, so user.mobile is not equal null or 0 as a long value, then also set the number. So et mobile set text user.mobile to string, because otherwise it would look weird if just not a 0 would be entered there, right? So if we look at it, if a 0 would be the mobile number, I think this is not good. So that's why we do this check here. If 0 is stored in the user object, which basically is what we get when we download the document. So when we download this document, we get this mobile number, which is 0. And if it's 0, we don't want to use it. And that's what we do here. So if it's not 0, then we want to use the number that is stored there. All right, and that is the function that I want to use. Here, by the way, it's not sign in user anymore. Now it's called, so Firestore class dot get, no, not got current user ID, but load user data, and I pass in this activity. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to run the code here. So activity dot set user data in UI with logged in user. So you see we here say, okay, activity, please call this function inside of our my profile activity. But before that, we say in my profile activity, please call this function, which then in turn calls this function here. But then it also gives us the username, or not just the username, but the whole user object, right? So that is the idea. It's really, we go from the my profile activity over to Firestore class. We call this function. This function goes back to the activity, which is our my profile activity, and then calls the function inside of this one. But this time we get the user. That's the huge difference, right? So we just wanted to have the user, and the thing is, we already have this class which gives us, or this method even, which gives us the user that is currently logged in. So why wouldn't we reuse it? And that's exactly what we have this code for. So by doing it this way, we save us so much code. We would otherwise have to do this code or reuse this code multiple times, or copy and paste it multiple times. So each time in the activity, sign-in activity, then in the main activity, then in the my profile activity. But the way we do it now is we just call this function. It gives us the logged in user. We don't need to create extra code all the time. I hope this makes sense, even though of course it would be probably a little easier to read if we would not do it in one place. But on the other hand, if we do it in one place, it's just all there, right? It's a little more obvious. Well, it really depends on what you prefer. Okay, so let's just test it. Let's see if we now get Homer with the image and his email address and potentially even his phone number. So let's add a phone number of Homer Simpson. I don't know what his number will be, 555-123-456, something like that. Let's update it. And now the only thing that is still me is going to be the email address, but other than that, it's going to be Homer Simpson. So let's see, let's go to my profile. And we can see there is Homer, the name, the email, the mobile number, 555-123-456. All right, at this point, we know how to load all the user data. We, of course, still need to update user data. So let's say we make changes to the mobile number or the name, then we would, of course, want to be able to update it. Of course, our update button doesn't do anything as of now, but we will add functionality to our app in the next video, of course. So see you in the next one.